Greetings, folks. For Ag and Natural Resources Marketing, I'm David Ammon, and you're watching Renew, the show about the amazing students, faculty, and staff of the College of Forest Resources. Our first guest today is Julia Knoll. She is a recent graduate who double majored in wildlife, fisheries, and aquaculture and microbiology. She won the MSU Library's Research Award this past spring and was president of the Mississippi State Student Chapter of the Wildlife Society. Julia, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where are you from and why'd you choose Mississippi State?
So I was originally born in Brazil. My mom is Brazilian. They came here when I was a baby, so I grew up in Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Nice.
My dad got his degree in geology, and so naturally he got it at Mississippi State. And so I became a Bulldog by default. I've always loved Mississippi State, so I heard about their wonderful wildlife program and decided to come here.
That's awesome. Well, we're glad to have you. So let's talk about some bats. I didn't realize bats were such an issue on campus. This Bat House project is pretty neat. What inspired you to take the lead on this project?
Myself included, and a couple of peers in the Wildlife Society, Lily Thigpen, which we'll talk to later,
Sure.
and then Grant Peterson, and then a couple other Wildlife Society members. We decided that it was time for us to try and participate in the Green Fund of the Office of Sustainability. They offer a $20,000 grant every year for sustainability projects on campus.
Nice.
And as the Wildlife Society, we were like, we've never tried to submit a proposal before, because it is quite daunting.
Sure.
But the three of us got together with some other peers and we wrote a good proposal, sent it in. We were super excited. After some permissions got back to us, we received the grant for $20,000. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough. We had a pretty significant financial deficit. So this has been a 2-year project. It's been a very long road, but
Totally worth it, though, I'm sure.
absolutely.
Yeah. Can you walk us through the process of the design and building stages of the Bat House?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so 2 years ago, we applied for this initial funding.
Sure.
We got the $20,000 and then spent the next year and a half fighting tooth and nail for the next, I think $12,000 was the deficit that we had to fill.
That's pretty significant.
But we got very creative. We submitted requests to like Tractor Supply and Bass Pro Shop and anything under the sun that would maybe consider our project. Thankfully, a year and a half later, thanks to our College of Forest Resources and our Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Aquaculture, and our friends at the Mississippi Bat Working Group, we were able to fill the deficit. And so we started construction in April, and we ended it in May. And
Wow, that's a quick turnaround.
yes, yeah.
So was it most of the students that are involved in the Wildlife Society, along with a couple of contractors? I guess the students took the lead on this project, yeah?
So it was
That's
a
awesome.
strictly volunteer, it was a strict volunteer project. And so I went to like the BCS department. I had some friends in the BCS department, the Building Construction Science department,
Sure.
and asked some classes if they would be interested in helping us. I asked some professors. We talked to frats, we talked to our clubs, we talked to Students for a Sustainable Campus. Anybody who would listen, we tried to rally the troops. And thankfully, we had a lot of volunteers come out. I think about 150 individuals showed up. We were originally planning for just 3 weekends. It was very naive of us to think that we could accomplish it in 3 weekends. But
Sure.
we ended up finishing it out with probably, I think, 25 days of construction, I think was the total number.
Wow.
But yes, it was volunteers from the Wildlife Society and a bunch of other clubs on campus.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What were some of the challenges you and your team faced during the whole project?
I'd say that the financial challenge was the biggest one, just because it was very frustrating. Lily and Grant and I would submit proposals and constantly be rejected, and it felt like the end was never in sight. But thankfully, we had hope, and we kept fighting, and we finally got it finished. I'd say also getting volunteers to come back. It is hard to ask undergrads and graduate students and other people at the university who always have super busy schedules to come and commit so much time, especially in the heat of late spring and early summer.
Right.
But those are some of the challenges. We would not have been able to do this without all the help that we received from the volunteers. So I cannot thank them enough for all the hard work they put in, because they were doing it for free. They were doing it for the bats. They were doing it strictly to build something that was bigger than themselves.
Right. It's a pretty awesome project to be a part of. I can imagine why people would come out in droves. What advice would you give to other students who want to make a difference in wildlife conservation?
I'd say, firstly, follow your passions. A big reason I wanted to be a part of this project, because I feel like bats are constantly villainized in media, villainized in different narratives, and they're always seen as this creepy, crawly, Halloween-y creature. But as Lily will discuss, they are so important for our ecosystem, the balance of our ecosystem. They're awesome pest control agents, and they're absolutely remarkable. And I wish more people were as passionate about bats. But I'd say if you want to make a difference in wildlife conservation, kind of think of what's important to you, and then realize that it is going to be hard work. I mean, all the stuff that we did, it wasn't like, oh, we're signing a paper, we're writing a sentence. Like we put in a lot of our own personal time to make this happen, but we were happy to, because it was for the benefit of the wildlife, for the bats that need more sustainable roosting. And also, we would really love for the community of Starkville and MSU to be able to see the emergences once the bats settle into the house. We really want them to kind of appreciate them as much as we do. But I'd say, yeah, if you're trying to make a difference, just get out there. Think creatively, think out of the box. When we were writing our grants, we had to, think of who would have thought that Tractor Supply has a conservation initiative. But yeah, just follow your heart. Realize that community is the most important thing. You can't do things alone. You can't accomplish things without help. So realize the value of the people around you. And yeah.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to take a quick break. Julia, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Want a career as big as the outdoors? Want to have an impact on the environment? The College of Forest Resources at Mississippi State University delivers hands-on training, ensuring clean air and water, wildlife habitats, and a sustainable environment. Creating new wood products and retooling old ones for today and tomorrow. Find a career in whatever path you choose. Majors in forestry, natural resource and environmental conservation, sustainable bioproducts, wildlife, fisheries, and aquaculture. Want a career as big as the outdoors? Choose the College of Forest Resources at Mississippi State University.
Welcome back. Our next guest is Lily Thigpen. She's a grad student in wildlife fisheries and aquaculture, currently working as a research associate under Dr. Melanie Boudreau. She was the workshop coordinator and a social media chair for the Wildlife Society. Lily, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. Lily, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where are you from and what brought you to Mississippi State?
Yeah, I was born and raised here in Mississippi, in Jackson, inner city Jackson. Don't hold that against me. But I originally wanted to go to vet school here at Mississippi State, and then I learned a little bit more about the wildlife program here and toured actually with Dr. Ayers.
Nice.
And decided that wildlife was it for me.
Very cool. And bats specifically, I guess,
Bats
right?
specifically, yes.
So tell us about the bat situation. Like what drew you to bats in the first place? Like what inspired you to work on this project?
Yeah, I never thought when I was in high school that I would be working with bats for sure. But I took an internship with the Mississippi Museum of Natural Science and got to work with a biologist there, Caitlin Cross. And she introduced me to bats and bat conservation. And so I really got inspired with that project and
awesome.
Learning about bats and working with the Mississippi Bat Working Group and then eventually Bat Conservation International.
Very cool. So what species of bats do we have here on campus? And are they protected, endangered? Like the ones we're talking about relocating here, yeah, what species are they?
Yeah, so the primary species that we're going to find on campus here is the Brazilian free-tailed bat.
Okay.
So all the bats that you see in the campus buildings are going to be Brazilian free-tails. Their scientific name is Tiderida brasiliensis, which is very fun to say.
Yeah, yeah.
They're super cute. They look like little mice with wings, and they have this little free tail, so the tail portion comes past their patagium that attaches to their legs.
Right. Neat. Yeah, I don't see why bats have always gotten such a bad rap. They are pretty
Yes,
cute. You know,
they're
I've
very
loved them since I was a little boy as well.
Yeah, there's 14 species here in Mississippi, and along with the Brazilian freetails, we'll see red bats, eastern red bats, and southeastern myotis, and a ton of different species.
Very cool. What role do bats play in the environment? Why should we be protecting these animals?
Yeah, they are incredibly important, and I think they're overlooked a lot of times. On average, bats save farmers around $3 billion a year in pest control because all of the bats here found in the United States are insectivores, which means they eat insects. And most of those insects are agricultural pests, and they're the ones that are eating your garden during the summer.
Sure.
So bats are very, very important. They'll eat up to their body weight in insects in a night. So you can imagine that really adds up when you have a colony of 100,000, 10,000 bats. Yeah.
Make a big dent, yeah. So the bats that are going to be relocated to the bat house, how are y'all going to go about doing that? How do you do it safely and humanely?
Yeah, so I first want to mention that anyone who works with bats has to get rabies vaccinated.
Right.
So we're very safe in our protocols when we work with bats.
Sure.
But generally, we hope that these bats will naturally go to this bat house because we built it in a location that's prime for them to forage and to have water. And it's also got little nesting modules in
Nice.
it so that they can roost and they have space to roost.
Right.
So we're hoping that they naturally kind of gravitate towards the bat house. But if they don't in the next couple of months, depending on the season, we're limited by maternity and when the bats are roosting, like with their behavior, we want to make sure that we're not stressing them when we move them.
Right.
So we may capture them and move them in bags to the bat house. But generally, we're hoping that they just naturally gravitate towards the bat house.
That would be ideal for sure.
That is very ideal.
Quickly, what has this experience taught you, both personally and as a future conservation or natural resource professional?
It's taught me a lot about teamwork, and Julia has really seen this project through. She has made a huge difference, but I think it warms my heart that so many people care about bats and are willing to put their time and effort into conservation of bats here in Mississippi.
Awesome. Well, Lily, thanks a lot for being here.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
And thank you guys for tuning in to this edition of Renew. If you want to watch previous episodes, you can go to CFR Vids at YouTube or check us out at cfr.msstate.edu. Thanks for watching.